Hi guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'll be doing my AFL Fantasy Forward Edition Rookies for the 2023 season. So before we get into it, remember to like and subscribe, as there's been really good growth on the channel and hopefully we can continue that if you guys just like the video, watch it through, all the way through. And also, if you haven't subscribed, remember to subscribe. So now let's get onto the video, and you'll see here I've done it, and I've just put it by teams selected by percentage, as I think that will give us a greater indicator of who plays rookie wise, etc., as it's kind of hard to know every team out and out. So I'll talk about all of the players that have forward status, including midfielders, etc., as I left them out of the midfield one that I did. So now we go on to here, and I'll talk about the guys on field first. So you have Sheasel that I've gone for, and what's his ownership at? His ownership is at 50%, and I think that's pretty fair, as he's going to play round one, and he scored, I believe, 75 in the practice match against the Bulldogs, and that's pretty good considering he should play a majority of his games against teams that I suspect will be around 10th or 11th and below, which should mean that I think that's a good indicator of what he's there and thereabouts. And he did, I think, kick 1-1. So you take that out, and that's still 68 points. So if he can average mid-60s, I think that's pretty respectable. And that's why I think if he can, I think he has less volatility, so that should be good for his point scoring ability. So that's why I have him on field over other guys, other forwards that are out-and-out forwards, and that will score highly games that they kick a bag, but then also have low games where they don't do well. So that's why Sheasel is on field. Fergus Green, I just think he's almost guaranteed to play round one, just due to Gunston going and other forwards going down for the Hawks. So he's done really well in the practice games, and at 200k, if he does play for a couple of weeks, then he's going to gain, hopefully, even just 60, 70, 80k, and then I can swap him to another forward rookie, or get Philippou into the forward line, and then get him on for another debuting mid rookie. Humphrey might be debuting by that point, and that's the sort of run that I'm going for. And then Davey, I think Alwyn Davey is on for an early debut, as he looked really good in the practice games. I don't remember exactly what he scored, but I'm pretty sure it was over like 60 or so, or around that mark. And at 200k, when he scores 60, that's pricing him around the 525, 10k. But he obviously won't get up to that mark. But even if he just gains 150, 200k for a guy valued at 212k to gain 50 to 75% of his value, that's pretty good, and I can ship him out in a rookie downgrade around that week 6, week 7. So those are the guys that I currently have selected as forwards. Then you have the likes of Sitsas. I don't think he plays. I think he's just that guy that, like Will Gould, sort of the joke of you're going to put him in as a 200k guy, and then people forget to, or just don't bother changing their rookies and focus more about the guys on field. And I think Sitsas has been that type of guy that doesn't get changed out of teams, as he's sitting at the basement value, and so 200k is pretty good, but he's not going to play. So I would suggest, if you do have him in your side, to take him out. And if he does play, well, then he can be just a utility guy, as he's got mid-forward status. Pedler is a guy that could play, and I think if Davey doesn't get named and Pedler gets named, then I'll just swap those two guys around, as I have the capability to do it. I have 1k left in the bank. So that guy, Pedler, could be good. I don't think he had a good practice game, and I'm pretty sure he's still fit, but if he does get a game, especially he could be touted on the wing, half forward type role, so that would be good. I'm not 100% sure, as I'm not that up to date with all the teams. I'll get to know them better over the year, but Pedler could be a guy to look into. McAndrew, from a Sydney perspective, I don't think he plays round one. I think they go Laddams and Reid in the ruck against Witts. I think they already know that Witts is almost like a foregone conclusion that it will dominate in the ruck, as he's looked really good throughout the preseason, and he's had a full preseason. So I think they might sacrifice that to get another on-baller, or someone that can almost just ruck to play off Witts. as I think they're just going to concede that he's going to win the ruck battle and get a lot of hitouts. So I don't know if they go with McAndrew. If they do go with McAndrew, then that's a better choice as he'll be that R3, I guess. I wouldn't suggest putting him at a utility or the in the forward line just because. Sam Stewart? Yeah, Sam Stewart could. I haven't looked too much into Freo and Sam Stewart, but from what I've heard, he did have from other sources, I believe he did have a pretty good preseason and could be in line for round 1. We'll just have to wait and see. But at 200k, he will be similar to Fergus Green, and I think I'll have to look, but I think Stewart could be a guy to start over Fergus Green instead if he does get that round 1 debut, as I believe he might be a little bit more fantasy friendly than Fergus Green at a key forward role, and I don't know if Sam Stewart is. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to update you guys in another video closer to the start of the season. Sin has had injury concerns, so that's why I think he's a little bit lower than he was. He was initially, I think, in my first AFL Fantasy Draft team, but I don't think he will be anymore, as I don't know if he gets that wing role that he was touted in preseason. So thus, I don't think he's an option at 233k. I think that Davies, Green, even Stewart and other players that you can go for instead of him. Heath, I believe, is injured for 46 weeks, so that takes him out, or 1 to 2, or he's even at test, and I don't think they'll go for him. I think they'll just rather solo Rowan Marshall over Heath. Humphrey, I don't know if he debuts round 1 necessarily. Edwards is just another chucked in ruckman, but I think he's too far down the list. Van Rooyen, I think Grundy had too good of a debut or practice matches for Van Rooyen to play. I think they'll just go Gawn and Grundy as rotating through the ruck. I think that's enough, especially it gives you enough value up forward as well with their marking capabilities, and I think they'll kick enough goals between them to act as the ruckman and a key forward for the whole season. Sheldrick could get a game, but I don't think he will get a game. From a Swans perspective, I think they'll go for... I think they're sweating on or waiting for Constantine to get fit again. And I think they'll go for... It's hard to say who they necessarily will go for, but I think that you have... there's sort of, for the Swans, there's the Lloyd position and there's that 6th forward position that they really got to fix, and that's about it for their whole team. So you have Sheldrick, Witts, even the other Warner brother could come in and fill that role. I guess we'll just have to wait and see, but I don't think Sheldrick will get the nod. I think it will be someone else. Even Roberts could, and then you push one of your midfielders more forward. And so it's just a throw up, I guess, and we'll have to see what happens on Thursday when they announce teams. Chandler, no. Ned Long, no. I think Drury might get in the team, but that'll just be a utility if he does, as I don't think I think there's Sheasel as well as Phillips, LDU, Simpkin. Their midfield's pretty stacked I should say. There's a lot of players that are younger in the same position as Drury, but have more experience and will be given the nod first compared to Drury. And I just don't think he gets enough minutes in the midfield to rack up enough points. Richards could play round 1. There's been a couple of reports on Twitter that some players that didn't play pre-season will play round 1, and one of the names touted was Richards, I believe, and that would be pretty good to have him in instead of maybe Davies or someone like that, and that will help the mix. And all these other guys down here are just 200k guys chucked on for the point of, I guess, and we could see Jai Menzies play, but at 283k, it'd be pretty tough to get him in. You'd be sacrificing a midfielder, which I think with the way he plays, he's almost a small forward key position, like that type of mould, and I don't think he scores enough to get good value compared to the midfielders that you can get. So that's my AFL Fantasy Rookies forward edition, and that's all of them now recorded for the rookies. So it depends with the interruptions that I've had on some videos which order these guys come out. So that's that. So this video might come out before some of the other videos, but they're all recorded. I just need to find time to edit them and to put them out. So that's all of them recorded, and remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in another video. Thanks guys, goodbye.